Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Today we're taking a look at the current state of Call of Duty Warzone. As someone who enjoys this game immensely, who lives and breathes it, I play it every day. I'm on social media, on the subreddit, I make content on it. I feel like I've got a solid understanding of how the player base is feeling and just the general vibe of the community. And with that said, right now there are a few key problems and issues occurring that are seemingly being ignored with no light at the end of the tunnel. So we're going to look over everything here and offer up some solutions today because I think this game really needs it and it requires some attention from the developers in several areas. One of the biggest problems right now, in my opinion, with this game is a lack of communication and unresponsiveness to big problems. Warzone is a live service game that has become way bigger than anyone ever expected. 85+ million players, they said in the investors call. My Modern Warfare game on Battle.net automatically changed its name to COD Warzone. It's obviously a big deal. And yet, as a player, to me it seems that there is a severe lack of communication with the player base and updates don't come frequently enough. I don't know who is developing this game anymore, who is sustaining it. Is it Infinity Ward? Is it Raven? Is it Treyarch? Nobody seems to know. There's a huge deal of confusion here. Who is the community manager for Warzone? And if it doesn't have one, why not? I think it needs one. Where are the detailed patch notes and blogs? It's just all gone really quiet the last couple of months. And as such, I think more communication is required, at least a blog post detailing updates or just an acknowledgement of core issues with the game and how they're addressing them. Something like that would go a long way. As for the unresponsiveness, I feel like this has been a theme with the game since its release in March 2020. Several unbalanced weapons and glitches have been introduced to the game and sometimes left for months before being tweaked. And to their credit, a couple of the game-breaking glitches like the infinite stim and helicopter god mode invisibility glitch were fixed after a few days. But I feel like addressing balance concerns has been really slow throughout the lifespan of the game, and the recent free implementation of over 30 Cold War weapons into the game has definitely been a big fumble, and to me it looks like it was rushed to be introduced before Christmas. I was personally very excited to try out all of the new Cold War weapons in Warzone, but what's the point of adding in that many when two of them are massively overpowered compared to the rest and compared to the existing suite of weapons from Modern Warfare, the DMR-14 and the Dimattis. That's what the game is now. It's turned into a hardcore version of itself where the time to kill is incredibly quick. Almost everyone has these guns in their first Ghost loadout. Moving from cover to cover is painful, and there's no variety at the moment. This meta, combined with skill-based matchmaking, ensures that every game is full of these guns. And for me, because I play a lot, it's not as bad. If you can't beat them, join them. But it is getting very stale already, and it's not as fun to play anymore for me. That's the truth. However, think for a second, what is this experience like for the casual returning or new player? It's awful, is the answer. Perhaps those types of players don't have the time to level up the new Cold War guns, and so they can't compete in those lobbies, and they're going to stop playing. And it's not just the guns either, some of the new attachments are straight up broken too. True Game Data and JGod have been testing this stuff and discovered quite a few things, a couple of them being the anti-flinch resistance attachments that are supposed to reduce flinch actually increase your flinch, and the Cold War long-range scopes don't even have glint on them, which causes a big imbalance for long-range sniper and marksman rifles. Worse than that, a new glitch was introduced to console players where when they interacted with a loadout, their game would hang and sometimes crash completely. And if they managed to not crash, they come back to the game and then they can't move their character and no inputs work. That's a game-breaking glitch. On top of this, there's a debate going on at the moment about cheating in Activision-sponsored tournaments where big prize money is involved. The accusations are that players have been supposedly using routers to subvert the matchmaking system to get easier lobbies. There's also apps that you can get now that in real time before the game starts will show you every single player in the lobby that you're in, their KD ratio, the average KD of the lobby, any information that you would want is there before you start the match. And the problem with this is that you could use that tool to essentially get an easy lobby. You queue up, you get in a lobby, you don't like the look of it, average KD is too high, disconnect, keep going until you find a good one, and then take that game as one of your chosen kill race matches. And this has really shrouded the integrity of those competitive tournaments in doubt. And on top of that, for the general player base, you've got stuff like reverse boosting, general question marks, and uncertainty about skill-based matchmaking. And ultimately, when you add all of this up and it piles up on one another, all it does is melt and create a pool of toxicity. And that's going to be the driving factor for conversation around your game. Oh, have you heard what's happening to Warzone? Yeah, they've got a load of glitches, broken guns, and cheaters, and that does not sound like fun. My point is that the lack of communication and action to resolve big problems with this game will and has already caused long-term damage to its reputation. Sometimes it feels like no one's at the wheel with Warzone, and it's just driving erratically from one big content drop to the next without any care or attention to what happens on the way there. That's the wrong way to go about it, and it will result in massive churn of players if it continues like this, and ultimately it's going to generate less revenue for Activision and the developers. They need to get a grip on this, and fast. Not all hope is lost though. The game is still inherently fun when it works, and I'm sure that they have a ton of players, but I really believe that improvements can be made, and it starts with better communication and transparency with the player base. With that in mind, a good next step for me would be to introduce a community manager or a channel of communication specifically and solely for Warzone, whether that's a person, a dedicated website, or a blog, a verified Warzone specific Twitter account, just something that is focused on delivering updates and information regularly. Acknowledging the glitches, tell us that fixes are on the way, talk about the weapon balance and how the developers are looking at addressing those kind of problems, because let's be honest, Warzone is a massive game now. It probably has more players than Cold War and Modern Warfare combined. You can't just use the official COD Twitter account anymore. And it starts to get really confusing when I've personally seen Warzone update tweets from the Treyarch account, the Raven Studios account, Infinity Ward, and personal developer Twitter accounts that have tweeted stuff about patches and balance, and then it's been deleted. So in the future, put it all in one place where it's concise and easy to follow. And tell us who the live service developers are too. Who is making this game now? Who's in control of it? I'd love to know who was making it to support them along the way. Another good idea would be to implement a test server environment. So before new things are added, like, I don't know, 30 Cold War guns and a load of attachments, new helicopters that let you have God mode invisibility, stuff like that could be bug tested at large by the community and glaring issues fixed before they're added to the main game client. I don't work in the game dev industry, but I have friends that do, and I've heard that QA testing is one of the most difficult things to do at the moment considering the current working situation. And so it might not be such a bad idea to have a test environment available to the public and let the players help you out with QA testing new content. This has been successful in many other live service titles like Battlefield, The Division, and Rainbow Six Siege. Wrapping things up, Activision and the developers of this game need to get control of the conversation, and they have to show that they actually care. If they just sit on their laurels and wait until the 1-year anniversary and the rumored new map in March, it won't be enough, and it will sow more disdain within the community. So instead, hit it hard in January and February and talk to the player base. Let us know how you're going about fixing the gun balance. When is the loadout glitch fix coming? Are there more measures being taken against cheaters? What have we got to look forward to in the future, etc.? Spread a bit of positivity and be more proactive with your community. Don't just go quiet on us. Ultimately, I love this game. It's been great for me to play with friends, for letting off steam, being social, having a laugh, and I'm also heavily invested in it. Yeah, I enjoy playing it, but I also make money from it with the videos that I upload to YouTube. I have a creator code. I'm sponsored by Activision for certain videos and streams, and I don't want to see Warzone continuing on this current path because I think they could be doing way better than they are. More planning is required before they drop big content, and communication for me is the most important thing going forward. And that's all for today, guys. Do let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.